Alright, let's start with your name.
My name is Luis Basualdo.
And where are you from, Luis Basualdo?
I am from Mexico, Mexico City, the capital.
And at what age did you come from Mexico?
At 9 years old, I moved to Miami, Florida.
Can you tell me some differences between the culture you have in Mexico compared to the culture here in the United States?
Well, it's a big switch. Mexico has different food, different music, and the people are just different overall. And over here, it's like USA. It's like very bright lights. The food is a lot bigger here in portions, and it's like I don't know. It's just different.
Can you touch upon maybe some values, norms, behaviors that are maybe different?
But yeah, I feel like I don't know. Over here, people are more protective of themselves. Definitely a lot more like defensive, maybe like towards the outside world.
Sort of
over
selfish?
Maybe more of a materialistic culture. Maybe their family is a big thing. Whereas I notice a lot of my friends' family here aren't like that in that way, where like family gatherings and stuff. But maybe it's just like my friends or my group. But it's just what I've noticed throughout my time here.
Okay. Do you feel that you've become at least close to or maybe completely acculturated to the culture here?
I've definitely given up a big part of my old life up, and I've definitely assimilated a lot to like American culture. I'm a big fan of American sports, movies, and everything about it. But I still obviously love my roots and where I come from. But I definitely have made a big switch and towards also language. Like I only speak Spanish with my family still. All my other friends, I've completely switched to English, and it's just been like that ever since.
Do you feel do you feel emotional towards losing those customs that you were so used to before?
I don't feel like I've lost them. I just feel like I've gained new ones. Or I'm still like, I still have my Mexican old roots. Like I know everything about it, but I've just left them in Mexico, and I'm here in the United States, and not a new person, but I'm welcoming to everything that's come from here.
Okay, so well, for you, since you moved from Mexico to Miami, and Miami being Hispanic, it wasn't very hard for you to become accustomed to the culture here because Miami's built upon a sort of more Hispanic culture than an American culture.
Yeah, definitely.
But do you still believe that you said you felt some sort of racism, but it wasn't to the extreme level of racism?
Yeah.
So you felt prejudice towards yourself?
Yeah, like I didn't feel it as bad. There were at times where I did feel out of place and like not welcome, but I am pretty sure in other parts of the country it could be a lot worse. Where I have cousins that don't live in Miami and live in Orlando, and like Orlando and Miami is a big switch. Even though it's not much in the map, culturally it's so much different. And I know my cousin's been through like different stuff, and he's also like assimilated much more into American culture than I have, where he like can't even speak Spanish anymore to that point. But I think since I'm in Miami, everything around me is Hispanic culture, music, and there's still other nations that are there all together.
You said earlier that you felt some sort of prejudice towards you, but seeing that you were raised in Miami, like you moved from Mexico to Miami, it wasn't that hard for you to become accustomed to a culture.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it wasn't racism to an extreme level. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. I didn't feel like the stereotype of an immigrant coming in from another country and being bashed on by the locals, but I was in Miami. I was raised there from ever since I got from Mexico, and it didn't honestly feel like I didn't feel attacked, but at the same time I did feel different, not knowing the language from all the other kids. But it was some sort of being like an outcast at first, but then as I learned like the culture and the language, I slowly started integrating as part of the culture.
Okay. Did you ever feel like below other people? Did you ever feel like you were under in some sort of like a class sort of way? But I don't want you to put yourself into a class. But I'm just saying, like, did you ever feel like below or beneath anybody?
I personally never felt that way, but I could see how in the situation I am that other people might feel that way, but I don't let those things get to me, so I always had a strong mind when it came to those things, and I don't know, I see everyone equal, so I've always been that way, and I didn't feel like I was any less than anyone else.
Okay, so do you believe in the existence of white privilege? I don't know if you know what white privilege is.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand that like it exists out there. I haven't seen much of it, but I'm sure that there are people out there that feel that way. I can't agree with that or anything that it stands for. Like, just other people having more rights than other people for no reason, just skin color or where they're from. I think it's absurd, but I know it. I'm pretty sure it's out there.
All right, so but how do you feel towards white privilege? You were trying to say that it was absurd.
Yeah,
Can you elaborate on that?
I don't agree like in any way that some people should be above others. Like, I think we're all equal, we're all one. Humans are just humans, and I think we should treat each other fairly with respect. We're all humans, so we all deserve our natural rights, and I don't think anyone is more privileged than any other person.
Could you say that maybe the reason for white privilege would be othering? A term, othering?
What is that mean?
Othering is when social institutions such as like the law, the media,
School,
education
system,
religion, etc., stuff like that. They hold a balance of like the representation of what is like seen as normal. So, for example, in a TV show, a normal white family living in a big house.
Oh, like a stereotype generalization.
Yeah.
Like, so.
So do you think white privilege is like comes from othering? Like, what do you elaborate on othering? Like, from your perspective.
Do I think white privilege is like a form like othering, generalization, social like stereotype of like, oh, an immigrant coming in and having to face those pressures?
Yeah, I'm saying like as an immigrant watching these TV shows, watching the news, watching all of this, does that make you feel like in any way different?
I mean, I felt different, but I understand that things are different. Like, it's a different country, it's a different culture, so I can't expect it to be the way I want it to be or the way I thought it would be. So that's why I just think like if we go somewhere else, it's our like choice, or we choose to go somewhere, it's also our responsibility to adapt to what we chose to do. Although we could still have our own values and we could keep what made like somewhere else or like where we were born great and stuff, our past culture, but if you're going somewhere else, you have to be willing to accept where you're going. You can't completely deny it, but you can't completely ignore it.
Okay. Now, do you think that transition could be made easier in any way?
I mean, I don't think it can. Like, I think it's just human nature to stay with what's familiar and to deny the different. And that's why I guess like new people, like immigrants coming in, could feel like outcasts or like left out from everything. But I just think that's how it is, and until they familiarize and adapt.